Hello and welcome all of you. So I believe my laptop is taking some time, so let's get started on that at least. So yeah, welcome all of you to this first day of the event for this 14 days long, wonderful and exciting one that's called Machine Learning Made Simple. And this event is powered by Newton AI, Pack Publications, and Bell Integrator. So I'm your host and organizer, Soham Sharma. I am a freelance data scientist as well as I work as product manager for full time with Zipline. That's a company in US based. So the aim of this virtual event is to give an overview of machine learning and help you guys establish useful connections. So we are going to do that by providing these sessions on machine learning algorithms, and you guys can also participate in the competition. That we believe that all of you will be able to grasp and understand something new, exciting, and useful for your data science career. We will be starting with the basics of machine learning modules and the algorithms that we have will be covered by our speakers, and we'll have different days where all of our speakers will be speaking about the different algorithms. By today, we'll be sharing the stage with Mr. Gurumurthy, who will be speaking about to you guys about sorry, he will be speaking to you guys about the Silicon Valley for You. I mean, he is the founder of the Silicon Valley for You, and he'll be speaking about the different algorithms that we have Yeah. So he will be talking about how you guys can, how the youngsters can uh, build up their career and get experience once they crack out of the colleges. Yeah, I believe if my voice is clear, do let me know because there is some internet connection issue over here at my end.
We can hear you now.
Okay, I just switched to my mobile network. So yeah, just let me know if everything is clear. Okay, I believe it was interrupted in between. Sorry about that. Perfect. We'll then continue with that. So yeah, our marathon program is divided into 4 blocks. Okay. So the first one will be starting with the career prospect, where I'll be introducing you to basics of machine learning, and then Mr. Gurumurthy from Silicon Valley for You will take over and explain to you how the colleges and real world can be connected. The gap between the two can be closed out. Then we'll move on to the second block of our 14 days program for the marathon, where master data science program will be conducted. You can say a single line of code leveraging Newton Auto ML live demo will be displayed. Then we'll move on to the theory and the practical part of the machine learning algorithms, where our data science experts will be sharing different algorithms. And then we'll move on to the last part of our we'll then move to the last part of the event, where industry trends with ARM, that is into semiconductors and artificial intelligence and a lot of other stuff based on neural networks and all, along with Newton AI, will be displayed out. And the competitions winners will be announced on the last day of the event. So I believe that will be very exciting to see, like, who has cracked the deal. So yeah, we'll quickly move on to the presentations in few minutes.
Okay, all right, here. Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew Glutt. I am the Director of strategic alliances as well as business development here at Newton AI. So thank you, Soham, for the introduction. So exciting to see all of you here. So yeah, we have a great program set up for us over the next couple of weeks here. So appreciate all of you joining here on your Monday evening. So as part of the courses, we also are going to be conducting a machine learning competition. So what are some different things that we can learn, or what are the key takeaways from this competition? What we'll be doing is looking at all of the various different algorithms that you can leverage, and our data science teams will help you utilize those and create various different models for you to be able to take away and leverage within your personal life as well as your careers. Additionally, on top of using the popular algorithms on the market, you'll also be able to leverage the Newton AI auto machine learning platform. And with this, you can test out and build some models based on some famous data sets. Now, not only is building machine learning models something that can be very beneficial from a business perspective, but additionally, what can we do in order to understand the models and how they're being influenced? So you'll be able to leverage the exploratory data analysis tool that is within Newton and be able to look at how your different features within your model are influencing the outcomes of your predictions, as well as how the different features are influencing the target variable. So with that, we'll also be able to learn and leverage the tool that we've enabled, which is called the model interpreter. And what this allows you to do is once you've created your model, you'll be able to look at each individual prediction and see all the different features and how they're influencing the target variable. And some of the benefits behind this is that you'll be able to create actionable insights. And on Wednesday, we'll be doing a live demo to look at not only the platform itself, but all of the different tools that are going to help you create different business insights. So there were definitely some questions in the Q&A regarding the different levels of courses, as well as the ability to get certificates of completion. So as you participate and complete all of the tasks within the competition, you will be able to get the certificate, and there are varying different levels as well. Additionally, the top 10 participants who achieve the most accurate results will be receiving both printed and electronic editions of trending books on data science from our sponsor, Pact. So one is Mastering Transformers, as well as Conversational AI with Raza, which is very interesting. And then additionally, one of the main prizes that the winners will receive is the 3-month premium subscription to our AutoML platform, which equates to about $7,500. And then the top 3 participants with the best results for their model will be eligible for the selection privileges in the SiliconValley4U internship programs, which Guru will be sharing with us shortly after this presentation. And so the first task for the competition is to explore the Newton platform. So the first step will to go and subscribe to the demo version of Newton. This will allow you to leverage many of the tools within Newton. So you'll be able to work with the preloaded data set Titanic and train that model. So this is a famous data set on Kaggle that's predicting the survival rate for the famous Titanic. Once you leverage that and train the model, there's various different tools that you can explore, such as the exploratory data analysis, which I had mentioned earlier, as well as the feature importance matrix, which will help you look at all of the top features that are influencing your model, and then the model interpreter as well. So, once you've gone in there, subscribed to Newton, worked with the Titanic preloaded data set, please feel free to answer all the questions that you have, and you can submit them to our Slack channel, or you can send them to our welcome at Newton AI. So the first task of the competition, get in there, play around with Newton, understand it, write down any feedback that you have, and then go ahead and submit that. And then as we move through the additional sessions, we will be assigning additional tasks as well. So before we go into the detailed demo next week, I'm going to quickly share with you a quick promotional video to show you a little bit about Newton, and then I'll hand it off to Guru. So please let me know if you're able to hear the audio.
No, there is no sound.
Okay. Do you have any tips? Share sound. Here we go. Can you hear now?
Newton AI, no-code artificial intelligence for all. Explore data insights and make predictions leveraging artificial intelligence without any coding, technical skills, or data science knowledge. Imagine that you'd be able to predict churn in a client database. First, let's prepare customer data. In our example, we use more than 10 characteristics, including age, gender, estimated salary, and others. Mark clients with 1 specifying those who have churned, and train a model. Newton automatically processes all data to a machine learning feasible format, including clearing data, filling in missing data, removing duplicates and outlays, sampling, working with text fields and others. Next, Newton creates a neural network that is learning to identify customers at risk of churn. Once the training is complete, we can evaluate the model quality by looking at the model quality diagram, which visually conveys overall model quality in a simple manner. We got a great model. It's also important to understand the logic behind the decision-making process. Hence, we developed a lot of explainability tools that allow for identifying key factors that affect predictions. Let's look at the feature importance matrix, showing the factors influencing prediction results and allowing users to interactively select the features and see how prediction results are impacted. Model Interpreter allows you to interactively change the values of original features and see the prediction results in real time. Newton allows users to get a lot of data insights and to understand how the model derives results. We are now ready to use this model in our business processes. Download the model as code, or connect to it via API, or make quick predictions simply by uploading a CSV file with new customer data, after which Newton will automatically mark those at risk of churn. It is important to ensure that any model is not out of date. The tool for conveying this is front and center on the dashboard. Model to data relevance indicator informs users, in a clear visual manner, whether the model is outdated and needs to be retrained.
Awesome. So yeah, that was a quick video kind of showcasing the platform. So, when all of you go to work on the Titanic data set, we will be sending you email instructions on how to work with it. And then also, any additional tools and things like that. But just as a side note, you'll go ahead and be able to, upload or use the preloaded data set for training. And then once you've done the training for predictions, you'll use the test data set. So thank you all very much for hopping in. And then I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Guru now to share with you how we can bridge the gap from just, kind of working on some projects or some theory to actually bringing it into real world use cases so that we can, really get value out of the data that we're doing in our everyday lives. So thank you.
Guru, we don't hear you. Please unmute.
Okay.
Okay, now.
Hi, sorry about that. So I'm having coffee. Yes, good evening to everybody. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Soham, for the great introductions. And good evening to the folks in India and also the rest of the folks. Greetings to you. I'm going to share my presentation. So basically, I'm going to talk about everything except the algorithms that you're going to go through for the rest of 13 days. So I'm going to talk about everything else. Essentially, how does AI help you? What does it help? And what are you, what are you learning in your college? And then when you get out, what's the real world? And essentially, everything that you learn, whether it's AI or something else, and how you can apply to accomplish what you want. So this is a great opportunity for you guys to learn through a lot of things. Hope it will pay you off in the short term as well as in the long run. And so basically, SiliconValley4U, as name suggests, we are bringing Silicon Valley to everywhere else. So I've been to Silicon Valley and I've been here since 1993, and things were different. A lot of things changed now with the current infrastructure and current innovations. You don't have to come to Silicon Valley. We can bring Silicon Valley to you. So that's the whole concept behind SiliconValley4U. And so we are partnered with several tech companies, and we are bringing education from business case to skills. So essentially what you're learning until this point is pretty much from skills to business case or skills to application of your skills. So we complement everything you're learning with business case to skills, and how I'll explain how Newton plays a significant role in that. All right, it's about me. Okay, I've been here for a long time, 25 years, and I'm the founder of SiliconValley4U and built multiple startups and worked for many companies. So that's the short version of about me. So this company has been started in 2015. We trained over 15,000 students so far. And essentially, SiliconValley4U is set up for colleges, schools. And when I say schools in US, everything is called school here, but in India, it's college, 11th and 12th, even we go to high schools. So we provide a lot of internships. We hire interns pretty much every day, and we are headquartered in San Francisco, but we are setting up the presence globally. So we are in all these countries. So essentially, as I said before, what we are trying to do is we are bringing the awareness of the real world by connecting students while you are in school to the real world. And so this is done by experts of Silicon Valley who are industry experts. What I mean by that. So essentially, this is it's not more it's less academic and more of commercial. So it's all about understanding the use case. If you talk about AI, yeah, so all great. All these algorithms are very, very important. There's no doubt about it. However, you also need to understand the data. You also need to understand the use case. So for instance, if you were to work in healthcare, how the data posture looks. If you were to work in financial sector, or or tech, or whatever it may be, the target market determines the awareness of the data. So that is also extremely important, besides all the all the actually underlying protocols of data science. And so that is where we come into the picture. So I'm going to quickly switch over to our website and showcase a couple of details, and then I'll get back to the presentation. Meanwhile, feel free to if you have any questions, put those in the FAQ. We'll be more than happy to answer you. All right, so this is our website, and essentially these are all the interns that we working for SiliconValley4U. You can see they're all fairly young, and so that's the SiliconValley4U average age is very, very small. And also the important piece is this is something our strat store, we call it, which is, so this is what the core value of SiliconValley4U. So essentially, we are building this. I call it Strat Store. You can call it Strat Cloud. Basically, it's a marketplace where you have all these different products that are built by students or offered by our partners, and also the startups we work with. So these are all the different products we are dealing with, and since we are in the conversation of AI, so I'll showcase one of the AI project. Can you hear the volume? I mean, do I have to do anything?
Yes, Guru, we can hear the volume. Voice.
All right.
The noise is available.
All right, so you got an idea. Essentially, these are the kind of projects and products, rather, that we develop for the industry. And so this is mainly for AI, and we have a bunch of projects in progress, and also there are a bunch of products that are being used. Keep in mind that, so this is the product, it's like, think of it as a IP block. So we customize it for the customer needs, essentially this image processing. So the demo you saw is essentially a image processing where if you scan any apparel or a consumer product, which is a shoe or recognizable size and shape and logo, and so it will find on Amazon. So it can be used for customer service type products. That image processing can be done on different different things. It doesn't have to be consumer product. And so essentially, these IP blocks will be used by customers. At the end of the day, the value this brings to the student is something you have done is being used by someone. So that is the legitimate, the work, and also it raises your confidence level, and also you understand the markets and how the actual industry works. So this is, this Newton's products. You can see that. I think Andrew showed this already. This one is pretty long. You can watch yourself. That's why I didn't run that. And also this another product, which is a startup by itself right now. It's called nextclap.com. So it has AI component, but it's developed by our students under SiliconValley4U. Now it's a NextClap. It's a startup by itself. And so what it does is essentially it's a combination of GitHub plus LinkedIn for each student to build their profiles for your future employment or future higher education, whatever you choose to do. So what it does is it will build a legitimate profile for you. So and as in you cannot fake it here. You can't copy paste unlike on GitHub or LinkedIn. And so the algorithm detects, and then it knows the posture of the profile of the person, and then it flags unless you prove that this is genuinely your work. It can't post it. But we are working with a lot of universities in US and to have NextClap as a very authentic profile for them to have the students on this platform, so that basically we are sort of creating the trust between the employment / college with the student. So this is by a startup by itself, as I said before, and it also has a lot of online courses. And so we are looking to add a Newton here very, very soon. So that's about, as far as some of the accomplishments so far. So what we bring to the table, right? So there is this, I call it 3-step formula. So we bring the skill development, which is complementary to everything that you have been learning or something you have already learned. And also, even if you didn't learn anything, that's fine too. So our programs are not only for computer science or IT discipline students. It's a perfect fit for any type of background, whether you are mechanical engineer or a chemical engineer or something else altogether, commerce student, art student, doesn't matter. So what we preach to all the students is you must learn technology regardless of what you want to do in life, because technology is part of everything. So that's where Newton platform comes into picture, because it can take you to the promised land without a lot of technology background. So having said that, you still have to have some sense of a flow, some sense of a logic, and also general idea about tech, so that you can get on these platforms very easily. That's where we come into picture, and then we kind of provide you the soft landing, so to speak, to get onto these platforms and succeed using them and learning through those platforms out there. So once you learn skills, we give you these paid internship opportunities to apply those skills. So that's the important thing. So as you know very well, and I've been through the same, we all probably, most of us on this platform might have gone through the same thing. You spend 20 some years at least learning some so-called education before you start applying. That's a long journey, long wait for somebody to start applying and see where you stand, what you can do to this world, or how can you make a difference, or how do you validate everything you learn, even if it is a math or English or some other language or whatever it may be. You need an opportunity to apply and see where you stand. With all due respect, and I didn't get it, and a lot of people that go through regular education system, you don't get a chance to apply that. That's what we prefer to do. As soon as you learn, within 6 months to 1 year, or even less than that, we give you opportunity to apply, and then and then as you apply, you learn new things. So you don't stop learning, and also you don't stop applying. You need both. Unfortunately, in many cases, neither of them are happening. A lot of them stop learning, in some cases, with all due respect, and also there are a lot of people that are eager to learn and enthusiasm. They don't get a chance to apply. So we bring both to the table, and also we provide this. We call it virtual incubation services. If you guys are enthusiastic, for instance, you get proficient on some of these platforms, let's say Newton, and then you understand how to build the models, and you have a tremendous idea. You want to create something. We'll help you out with that. Let's say you don't have an idea, but you have a lot of skills. We can help you to connect to the startups. We already partner with startups. And so either way, you should get an opportunity to work for some of these startups that if you're interested. So I guess the theme and process, as I said before, every student must be a mentor. This is what I was alluding to earlier. And also our contributor. Yeah, hi. Somebody raised a question, raised hand, unless it's something to do with audio or video, please post your question in the Q&A. Sorry. So every student must be a mentor or contributor, so that you can start applying all your skills. Whether it's, like I said before, it can be simple math. It could be, what is AI? Statistics plus coding. I'm oversimplifying it, but you know what I'm trying to say. Essentially, whether it's biology or something else, how do you apply it? So this technology allows you to do that in short span. So that's why you should start applying. That's why we bring Silicon Valley to youth while you're in school. And also every mentor must be a student. So what I mean by that is the moment you cross that bridge and say, okay, you know what, now I'm able to contribute, but do not stop learning. You cannot just say, okay, I'm a contributor, I'm good to go. And that's not the case. And that never work in this world, in this day and age. So that's why we created this process where you achieve both simultaneously. All right, so speaking of, because my topic is about how internships work. So this is the pathway. So there is a mentorship opportunities we give you, and also we give you the content creation and marketing. So something like this, for instance, if you're good at, or you created something, or you mastered some concept, we give you opportunity to create the content, or give you an opportunity to speak about those things. And also you'll be part of the global team to develop projects. And last but not least, as I said before, once you get past all those, you get into, we will try to get you to some of the startups, and hopefully, if both the parties like, you get a great opportunity while you're in school. So I'm going to continue to talk about internships. As I said, that's the main topic for me for today. And I'll also talk about a little bit about other platforms and AI in a minute. So internships, what we have, or these are not namesake internships. So what I mean by that is, many times when you work as an intern, I worked as an intern for Indian Airlines. So many times you go there, you show up, you spend a couple of months, and they don't even know whether you came to work or not, in some cases. And in some cases do, and probably, but at the end of the day, you get a description of, okay, I've done this at Indian Airlines, and that's pretty much it. It's not, probably if you ask for it, they probably give you a letter, and and keep in mind, nobody looked at my letter until this date. And so ours are legitimate internship. What I mean by that is, there is a customer waiting for your service. So that means you got to satisfy the customer. So whatever the internship may be. So as long as customer is giving you feedback, so that's a legitimate internship. And so obviously you get a certificate, but beyond that, you also get the testimonial, and it's a legitimate job that you satisfy the customer, and also that boosts your confidence, and also something you can showcase on your LinkedIn profile, or whatever the application format that you use. And so that is the most important thing. So this potentially can lead to some kind of a startup or entrepreneurship, or working for a legitimate company with a legitimate role. So in other words, I can speak for myself. When I finished my degree, when I first got a job, and even till date, same thing continues. We all talk about, okay, I joined Amazon, and probably this is my package, my salary, whatever. But we never talk about, or at least I didn't, what job they're giving me, what am I going to learn, how long it's going to take, what happens after 2-3 years. None of those are going to come to my mind. And once I join that company, they decide my destiny. And essentially, somehow it just translates to some random events. And then I got into US, and then the rest of just followed. But at the end of the day, company decided my life. I didn't decide my life. My career was not decided by me. It was decided by the companies. In fact, I got onto mainframes because they asked me to do it. And so I didn't have back then, I didn't have a choice to say, I don't want to do it, or I want to do this, none of those. And long story short, if you have that awareness by the time you finish your education, and you have the understanding of, okay, if I join this company and this is what I'm going to do, do you understand what the company does? And do you understand the problem? Do you understand how to solve the problem? That problem solving skills, once you have them, everything else falls in place, whether it's you want to be a part of startup, or you want to start your own company, or you want to work for a company in a legitimate role where you grow quickly. And so these are the, I just gave a comparative analysis here between SiliconValley4U and general industry, and there are exceptions. There are one-off cases in the industry, and I'm not talking about that. This is a general comparison. So when you take an internship, there are so many things that comes into picture. Your technology skills, obviously, very important. And also a lot of other things, intangible skills that you need, such as soft skills. How do you fit into the team? How do you communicate? How do you make sure that you become resourceful? Make sure that you can provide things that are needed by the team and the organization to succeed. How do you observe those things? How do you read the room? All those things comes with the process. It comes with the time, unless you're born with it. I mean, there are people that are born with it, some people that are developing those. If you're one of those who are working on developing those, this is a great opportunity. If you're born with it, you're a gifted guy, you're going to do very well, no doubt about it. And so basically, we observe students and then give the right internship for them to succeed. That's another thing. When you do something, you have to be successful. You don't want to do something and not so successful, and you don't want to be disappointed. And so that's why it's very, it's good to have that understanding prior to joining that, or prior to attempting that. So in the industry, when you join as an intern, it's unproven interview process. What I mean by that is you interview, they might just hire you because you're an intern, you're going to stay there for a couple of months and leave. So whatever, so just they ask you a few questions, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it's not a scientifically proven process. And also the amount of mentorship. So we are built for this. This is what we do, and we give mentorship. This is what we want to give mentorship. Where if you join a large company, let's say Uber, and then you join as an intern, with all due respect, I mean, if your manager is nice and all that, probably he will, but he or she, if not, then if they are busy with their production problems, they may not have time for you. and you hang in there for a few months and leave. So that's why you don't really learn anything. You just do a namesake internship. So, like I said, we mentor in all aspects of, internship/mentorship. And so it's an established process we have been doing for a long time, and long-term internships. So another thing is ours is not like a couple of months, 2 weeks, none of those. It's a ongoing and seasonal. And so it's, let's say if you have exams, you have other things to take care of, you can take a break, you can come back, it just keep going. And then you expect you to stay with us as long as you want. And so we have students that joined us, and now they're working for companies like Google, startups, and Facebook, and things like that. They continue to work with us. And so there are some roles that don't conflict with their day job. So it's a very much possible. And yeah. So this is the criteria generally to give an idea. Generally, we take our academy students, but there are exceptions, and we can talk about those exceptions. So these are the things I talked about earlier. Soft skills. When I say soft skills, it's about communication. It doesn't have to be just a language. It's everything else, and it's a culmination of everything that how you're attempting to finish the task, and the teamwork, leadership, and also obviously technical skills. But the last but not least, it's very important to get the customer satisfaction. This is what I tell all my folks all the time. At the end of the day, if customer is happy, you're doing well. So that's why our internships are well proven, because we get instant feedback from the customer. We bring that back to you to help you to improve your abilities, and also adjust to the customer needs. And you must always think that customer is right. I hope you already know it. If you don't know, please take a note. And you have to take customer into consideration at all times, and whatever it may be. And even if you think you are right and customer is wrong, you have to be extremely polite by saying, in fact, personally, I start with "you're right." That's how I start. You're right. And then nicely, I tell them that, hey, this is what we think is the right approach. Most of the times they agree. Long story short, that we get the customer feedback. That tells us how well you're doing. We don't have to give you a letter. You don't have to assess you. You don't have to do all that. And so that's why, these kind of internships raises your or boost your confidence level. So these are the, we work with, obviously, to build let's say if you want to build an IoT solution or any AI solution, you need AI, obviously, and also you need data, and also you need the use case. You'll probably need a lot of other tools around it. Maybe you might have to develop a web interface or a web service, or maybe you need to develop a mobile app, or you need to deal with a database and to bring data in and out, or you might have to deal with big data. Maybe you have to work on Hadoop. So maybe what if your data is on the HDFS? How do you bring that into Newton and vice versa? See, all these things, we cover all those, not just one aspect of it. We are more like a solution type internships. So basically we hope, or we expect you to know more than one if you are interested. And so in order to achieve that for the customer, at the end of the day, customer needs the complete solution, right? So we have other tech companies we work with in different spaces, whether it's mobile or web, or like I said, it's databases or cloud services, whatever it may be. Also, we work in conversational AI, and also, like you want to build a chatbot, RPAs, whatever it is. So we bring all that into the fold, essentially. So SiliconValley4U is kind of integrator, aggregator of a gateway for you for many of these cutting edge technologies. Keep in mind, so if you were to learn AI, starting from Python and general AI concepts, and then data modeling and ML, and then you get to, or let's say you are, let's say if you're on a different platform, you want to learn Spark, and then you get to data, and then you get to use case. It's a long journey. So what Newton does is it will cut short that journey significantly. You can get to the business case like that, just like that. And so that's what I meant by education from use case towards skills is you need to understand the business case. Let's say if I'm saying, hey, if I ask you, for education services, you have to build a model that forecasts the students' trajectory through the school and beyond school. Just a simple example, right? If I ask that question, so you need to understand how the education services work, and what kind of students come in, what kind of students are exiting, what are the school processes, and how are they putting on their assessment systems, and all that, right? So essentially, you need to understand the domain, and then you also understand the posture of the data and also type of the data, and then let's say now you understand these two. Okay, now I want to build a model. Okay, here we go. You got to start with Python. Then it will take years to get to model. So what it does is once you understand those two things, within weeks to months, you are ready to build a model on Newton. When I say weeks to months, that includes you getting familiarity with the Newton. I'm just saying it's not about just running on. If you're an expert on Newton, it won't take that long. It takes hours, and in less than hours. If you want to learn the platform and also understand how to run and how to run the model, and then how to tweak things, how to tweak the parameters, whole 9 yards, and whether you want to do tiny ML, whatever it may be. So that potentially can take a few days to get there. So that is why we partner with such exciting companies that are sort of renovating this whole solution of AI. And so that's the ecosystem. So essentially, you guys, as intern with all these companies, we build a solution for customers. So that's the crux of this slide. So these are the different technologies I was talking to you guys about: blockchain, machine learning, web application, mobile, cloud, RPA. Probably you would have heard all these things. But again, our focus is not teaching concepts from get-go. That's being done by your education, your colleges, and things like that. So we do train you in a lot of programming languages, anywhere from Scala, Java, Python, all kinds of JavaScripts, Angulars, Reacts, and whatnot, and mobile. However, the way we train you is, I call it pathway. So basically, we take the use case and whatever is needed, we train you. In other words, let's say if you want to develop, let's say you need a mobile web service for AI solution with Newton. So there is Newton involved and there's a web service involved. So that essentially you need to know web technology. If you already know, great. If you don't, then we'll train you on that. But we don't teach you some Java programming just to get you going. That doesn't make any sense. So that's what I'm trying to get you. So it's essentially, we train you on the skills that you need to accomplish that task. And that's, in my humble opinion, kind of lacking. I can speak for myself. When I finished my degree, I knew a lot of languages, but I didn't know any of them how to use them. As in, I knew the syntax, I knew how to solve a couple of interview questions on the whiteboard. Other than that, and if I apply, when I applied for a company, when they said, "Hey, this is the project, can you do all these things?" I had to ask him, "You have to tell me how that project works. You have to give me the spec." So I had to tell him in the interview, otherwise they wouldn't have hired me. But long story short, when I finished everything, I had a lot of skills. I had a lot of programming languages. I knew compiler design, operating system, databases, blah, blah, everything. But the first question you asked is, hey, I'm doing this, examination processing. That's my first project. How do you do examination processing? I didn't know. So I told him, I don't know. You have to give me a spec. And these are my skills. I can do this if you give me the spec. At least he appreciated my honesty, and then he gave me the job. So my point is that you guys should know when you join that company how SSC examination processing works. That's the better approach than just asking them or requesting them for a spec. So that's what we are trying to do for all the students. So like I said, it's not a course, it's a pathway. It's a pathway. I don't want to sound too cliche here, but it's never ending. There is no such thing as, oh, I know enough. We all know that. I hope you guys know. It's a continuous process, and I call it learning, unlearn and relearn. So it's a continuous process. And so keep in mind, for instance, take Newton, right? In a couple of years down the road, you'll see a lot of flavors of Newton itself. And so it's essentially that makes you, or that gives you opportunity to understand different domains, and as they add more features. So that's why it's a pathway, and it's a combination of skills. It's not just one thing. So you can do only that aspect of it, then you sort of become a contributor who doesn't understand the actual solution. So, and then, so like I said, it's business case towards skills, and so trained by the companies as well as individuals from the Silicon Valley. So essentially what that means is somebody who has spent so many years creating these products are the experts of teaching, in my humble opinion. With all due respect to all the educators in this camp, on this forum or outside, is that they're fantastic. They do a great job teaching, and they're passionate about teaching, and that's what they do essentially. But unfortunately, there is a gap between academics and the real world. Real world is running at 1,000 miles per hour. So imagine people who didn't know about Newton.ai, and they don't know. And so down the road in 2-3 years, you are going to see a lot more innovation. So point I'm trying to make is that, colleges are not able to catch up. So as a result, there is a huge gap between academics and the real world. And how do you fill that gap? The only way to fill that gap is you as a student has to take that leap. Unfortunately, with all due respect to all these colleges, none of the colleges can do that. So for instance, can you hire someone? Can your college hire someone from the tech industry, from Google or Newton or SiliconValley4U? No, because nobody's going to leave their jobs and work for colleges. Even if they do, they lose touch with the technology. And so this gap is going to be there. It's not about college. It's not about anything. It's about the system. And so that's why we want you to be taught by the people that do this day in and day out, and somebody who knows how to solve the problem, not just knowing some syntax and ability to talk about it. So so that's and then so this is a complete solution, and like I said, it's long-term internships. So I showed you the marketplace called Swag Cloud. These are the different industries we are targeting at the moment: small businesses and SMEs, SMB and SME, I should say, small, medium, and enterprises as well, and startup, education services, and some of the domains like IoT. So the reason I'm mentioning only these, there are others that we do. For instance, we have some of our products are with Wells Fargo and things like that. We are not targeting large enterprises because there is a gap. There is a lot of small business, small enterprises and startups need these services. They don't have help from the tech companies. And if you take a startup, if you guys are going to start your own startup tomorrow, you're probably good at certain things, and there is a lot of gap, and there are a lot of things that you don't have, a lot of skills you probably don't have. You won't be able to hire because obviously you don't have enough money to hire, to begin with, it's like a catch-22. So that's where we come into picture, and that's why there is a gap. We try to fill that gap to be part of the startup. Same with the SMEs. Whether let's say you are building the AI solution, you want cloud services, or you want, let's say mobile app, or you want simple database management, or, like source control, whatever it may be, so many things, or simply, creating a deck and then creating a business plan, or creating a marketing strategy, or all different aspects of startup slash SMEs. They need help, because if they have enough resources, they become IBM, right? As good as any big company. So, so that's where we come. So that's why that is the gap we are trying to fill with you guys. So you as a resource, and companies like Newton, and with SiliconValley4U as a gateway to fill these gaps. So this is a slide I got from Andrew. So just to give an idea, these are the different areas of interest. For instance, we are talking to one of the universities in Brazil. They are talking about smart city. I believe they are talking about oil and gas. And also they are talking about something else, agriculture. I don't know where it is. And in this, so yeah, it's right, this agribusiness. So they are talking about those three areas as we speak. And we have been talking to them for a while, SiliconValley4U as well as Newton. And so these are the different areas, Newton can address. And so I think as this event progresses, there are a lot of experts. They're gonna talk a lot more about these things. There is a tiny ML component of it, and also the other regular ML component of it. So when it comes to IoT, everything like smart city, or in some cases education and agriculture, so these in oil and gas, you're talking about sensors, right? It's with a very small footprint where you need to be able to put your entire code and then basically your model. Essentially, you got to put your model onto this very small footprint with the very small controllers, not even processors. So that's where Newton is extremely effective, which is very challenging, by the way. I come from that space. I come from the embedded space. So they are partnered with Armall. So you'll be hearing from our folks very soon. So these are all the very, very cool things that can be accomplished. And those sensors those sensors are smart sensors. So they have the ability to, identify the right data to push it to the servers. All right, so education services, we are talking to all kinds of schools. To be honest, like I said, we have no, we don't just target only computer science and IT. We think that these programs are even more fit for those who are not in tech. And for you guys, so I call it coding accelerator. So essentially, for those who are already in CS and IT, so you already have a lot of knowledge about a lot of things already. What platforms like Newton does is it will accelerate your progress towards business case. For those who don't have any background whatsoever, and for those guys, it gives that soft landing without knowing all these bells and whistles and coding and in learning programming and all these, and then learning, the debugging and source code control and whole 9 years. Trust me, once you get in, there's a learning curve involved. So, you can avoid all that and get onto it. Long story short, it's a good fit for both. So we work with engineering colleges, private schools, international schools, medical schools. We are talking to all those as we speak. So as of now, we are working with a data analytics group in the Indian Institute of Management, Ranchi. It's a data analytics group. I think it's called Datalix, I believe. And so we are working with the VNRVJ at Engineering College in India. And we are talking to a lot of schools in India. I'll talk to you in a minute. It's a school in Ethiopia, And we are working with a lot of Cape Verde, which is island in West African countries, and we pretty much a lot of schools we are in touch with. And these are all in addition to US schools and colleges. So there is we are talking to a school in India, Trivandrum International Schools. We are talking to about 10 schools, and Humber College in Canada. And I think and it's a lot of engineering colleges we are in touch with as we speak, and conversations going on. And so another Ethiopia college, I'll be talking to them tomorrow, and then also Brazil. And we are talking to, so as I said before. So these are the startups we are dealing with at the moment. As I said, there are a few startups we have worked with. And these are the new startups. We add more as time goes on. So the summary, basically, we are trying, the SiliconValley4U is to bring Silicon Valley to youth around the world, and while you're in school, to bridge the gap between academics and the real world. And we are not doing by ourselves. We are backed by a bunch of companies, and the SiliconValley4U is more like a gateway to bring the complete solution for you. And also, as part of that, in order for you to get an opportunity to apply and create something of your own or serve a customer, we give a paid internship opportunities, and also provide incubation services towards startups. And and so more importantly, we always strive to have very long-term and sustainable relationship with all the components in the ecosystem, whether it's colleges on the left side, or schools, and all our partners like Newton, and also customers obviously on the right side, and more importantly, you guys. So once you become an intern, you can stay as long as you like to. And so keep in mind, a lot of testimonials we give with our legitimate work experience you have are paying off in a big way for a lot of students to get into better colleges and better things in life. So that's pretty much what I have. Feel free to ask if you have any questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer. Otherwise, I believe I'm the last speaker. So yeah, I can hand over to Yulia and Soham, if you don't have any questions. Okay, there are a lot of questions. So so I just go one by one and answer, or how is that? Okay.
So we've actually answered quite a bit of them,
okay.
Guru, but some of the questions were just about kind of the internship opportunities, whether they're paid or not, how do they get access, with the competition, is it only the top 3? So yeah, there's we've answered most of them, I think.
Okay. All right, so is there anything that I should talk about or at the moment, or we are good?
Yeah, the first question, I think like most of the questions were regarding the internship program.
Yeah.
And the duration of the program, say the fees of the program. So can you just elaborate a bit about that also, Guru?
Yeah. So basically our pathway is, our traditional pathway is a student joins us and who is a raw student, and he gets on the pathway. And once they learn certain skills, once we get the feedback, we approach the student and we give the internship, and they start applying everything they learn until that point, and then continue to learn new things. So that's why, so this academy that we have allows you to apply and learn new things simultaneously. That's how our traditional platform built. So in some cases, let's say if somebody's already proficient in something, or obviously if somebody's working for the industry, we hire them directly. There's no issue there. They're not obviously interns, they're more like employment. And if we make an exception for somebody who's really good at, and if we think that person is good and we can take them on board, they can come as intern. But they have to prove that they can solve that problem. So the difference between what we do and what industry does is we don't fully believe that the interview of 1 hour will take care of this process. In other words, if we talk to you, you may be really good. And if you are not one of those guys who can do very well interviews, we miss hiring you. And there are a lot, with all due respect, there are a lot of people that do very well in interviews. I can speak for them. I hired a bunch of them and not very successful after they got on board. So we see both the cases. So as a result, because of that, we created this process where we observe for a certain number of months to see how you are. And instead of just talking to you for 30 minutes or 45 minutes and decide one way or other. So that's the process. And the easiest simple answer is once we get your request or you can send, oh, by the way, sorry for not doing that. You can email at info@SiliconValley4U.com. And you can, once you send those, then we can take case by case, or we can take requests from a group, and then we can address them.
Yeah, I believe if someone wants to, if they are interested into the internship program, they can even utilize the Slack channel for the common communication, so that if there is any other question, so we can directly ask Guru over there as well. And if I believe the email address, we can share it on the chat as well, so that people can redirect their questions even there.
Yeah, I just did info@SiliconValley4U.com. Also John@SiliconValley4U.com.
I wasn't seeing it in the chat. Maybe
okay.
I have to switch to everyone.
Okay, yeah, I think, sorry.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry about that. I don't know how it was set to. Okay, you can send it to.
Okay, so there is another question, Guru, from in our question and answers. So what is the mode of internship training that
it's remote.
requested by Kaparo?
Everybody is remote. It's all remote.
Yeah, I believe Gafaru, your answer has been taken up. It's completely remote.
Sorry for not able to pay attention to the questions, because my screen, I can't see both simultaneously.
Yeah, that's perfectly okay, because I think our panelists were already answering there on the question and answers. So yeah, I'll take it up from over here. So we'll be sharing all the recordings on the YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel, as well as on Newton AI's YouTube channel. So the complete recording of this session will be available on the YouTube channel. And as well, I believe we are already live on YouTube channel right now on Newton AI's. So that's available on the YouTube channel. So you all can watch it out if in case you have missed it out, if in case you have missed out anything. We are open to take up any other questions if you guys have any. There's still like 10 minutes of time. Okay, so we have one from Utkarsh. Please discuss the internship cost. So Guru, can you answer this part about Utkarsh? Please discuss about the internship cost.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I didn't fully understand, but I'll try. So essentially it depends on, what you're doing and where you are. And so if you're asking about the cost for the course, it's very subjective. So like I said, please send an email and someone will reach out to you and then discuss that. Internship is something we pay you. So if that's your question, I don't know. So yeah, so even that is subject to depending on type of internship you're doing, and a lot of factors come into picture.
I believe that answers all of your questions. We're still open to take up some more of the questions. I think that's available. Yeah, Satish, we understand that most of the people are thinking about the internship cost. But I believe you guys can get in touch with Guru over the email address which I've
Slack,
shared
yeah.
earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they will get in touch with you.
Yeah, Soham,
Okay.
there were a few questions, targeted towards us here at Newton. I just thought I would quickly just reiterate the answers. The demo version that you can participate in the competition is completely free. All of the data sets are preloaded and available within the platform. It's very easy to use. We can definitely help you out if you're having any issues. If you have any issues with registration or getting access to the platform, please reach out directly and we can walk you through it. And then on Wednesday, we'll be having a deep dive to showcase the platform as well, so that everyone can kind of see it in action. But please sign up today or tomorrow in order to complete the first task by the due date as well.
So someone asked, I think I'm not so technically sound. So as I said before, this is not only for those who are tech savvy, and even if you are not, it's never too late. You can get in, and we have program structure for those who are not tech savvy.
Yeah, I believe lots of the questions that are coming up are related to the most of the different course that we have ahead. I mean, during the event for the 14 days long, I think most of the questions are even for that. You don't need to be very much proficient about the machine learning. You can always refer to some of the free courses that are available. I myself will be sharing up some of the content that will help you guys to get some idea about what the Python is about, what Python coding will be about, then normal EDA sessions over there. So I'll be sharing with regards to that as well. Yeah, and in case you guys are thinking that you cannot transition from non-tech environment and the data science is completely technical, so don't worry about that. I myself was into non-technical background, and then gradually turned up into the technical the field for data science. So yeah, you don't need to be very much proficient into the technical things, but yeah, you just need to brush up a lot of things, a lot of basics you need to learn about. You need to do a lot of projects. You need to work on improving your skills into Python, into machine learning. For the machine learning, you need to have some idea about the basics of Python, then EDA, then comes up data visualizations. So there is a certain steep growth towards learning the machine learning part. I'll share an article on the event page, so keep an eye on that, and you guys are good to go for that as well. I'll be sharing a lot of free resources also on the event page. Sure. So okay, so my YouTube link is not working. Okay, I'll share my YouTube link as well as Newton AI's YouTube link on the chat in some moments. Utkarsh is completely remote. The internship programs are completely remote. And in case you want to have more idea about the internship program, please please connect with Guru's team. That's you can access them using info@SiliconValley4U.com. Okay. Okay, event page link. Okay, so Dhrupa will share you the event link as well. Thank you. Okay, we have some questions on the question and answer. Is this course about basics in every technology or intermediate or deep? Okay, Shini, so this course that we are going through will be completely basics and will not be answering or we can say will not be covering a lot of in-depth technologies that we have. It's just a basic overview of how machine learning algorithms work and what are they about, the basics of you can say the complete, you can say if I'm taking, if someone from our team is taking, you can say linear regression, they will only cover up the basics of the particular algorithm. And then on the next day, we'll be covering up one of the data set and will apply that particular algorithm on that particular data set. Okay, emails are going to come for the next steps or assessments, right? There will be guide on each step. Ijaz Ahmad, I believe for the next steps about the assessments, everything will be covered up on the Slack. And I believe, Andrew, you can even share the document for the assessments on Slack, please.
Yeah, and then we'll also be emailing out instructions for signing up for the competition and everything like that as well. So it should be all explanatory. And then the Slack channel we can leverage for any troubleshooting or anything like that.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, you guys will be shooted with a lot of emails from our end, not a lot, but yeah, 1 or 2 emails for the assessments and how you can progress through the course and about the competition as well. Okay, we have a question. How many days will be given for task submission? Yeah. Andrew, you would like to answer that?
Yeah, the first one will be due on the 30th. So that will be this Thursday. So we recommend getting signed up today and tomorrow, so you have a day or two to work with the platform and train the model.
In case you are finding any kind of difficulty for the platform, you can definitely reach out to, I mean, on the Slack, and you can post out all your questions over there. So our team will help you guys accommodate with the Newton AI platform.
On Wednesday, we will have the online onboarding for those who have some problems with the registration. But if you have it, please chat us directly and we will help you straight away.
Yep, and the competition will be based on the Newton AI platform, not Jupyter Notebook, for example, which is one of the questions.
So there is another question from Afra. How can we sign up for the assessments? Afra, we believe we'll be sharing out complete instructions on how you can proceed with the, you mean to say, proceed with the assessments. So we'll be sharing out an email in some time. Sure, we'll send you the Slack link again. Yeah, there it is. Thank you, Andrew, for sharing it.
Yep. There was also a question, is this program only for students who are currently pursuing their degree? So for the SiliconValley4U courses is for students, but our sessions, these 14 sessions and competition is open to everyone.
Yes, Satish, the timings are from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. So we have 5 minutes of the time left right now to take up any other questions if you guys have.
There was another one, will they be able to participate on the contest after the 14 days program? So we've set this up with different timings of completion dates. So, you know, it'll all be through this particular program.
I believe we have already answered Deepak Vishwakarma's question, because I think I'm not technically sound.
Yeah, we already answered that. So
Okay, Martin has one of them. So, okay, so all of them.
meaning,
Okay, that wasn't clear, but yeah, Martin, if you can please provide some clarity on your question, if you have. Yeah, there is a question in the chat. Will we be given a task every day for the 14 task? Andrew, can you please answer that?
No, we'll have a series of tasks. They won't be required to be done every day. We'll provide you with the scheduling as well. But the first one starts today and will be due on this Thursday, the 30th. Yeah, no worries.
Welcome, Divya.
Thanks for the question.
What is the difficulty level of first task?
Yeah, I can answer that one.
Yeah, maybe.
Sure. The first task is creating a model to predict the survival rate for the Titanic data set. So the difficulty level is fairly low. It's simple. You'll be able to select your target variable, begin training, and then from there, you're tasked to look at the exploratory data analysis to kind of see information about the model, and then check out the model interpreter and feature importance matrix. So it should be fairly straightforward. And then on Wednesday, we'll go ahead and take a look at it as well to answer any additional questions. And then what is the first task? So that's creating the model, like we mentioned. We'll send out the instructions for that. And then which model is best suited for this? So this is going to be leveraging the Newton patented algorithm that's within the platform itself. So you won't need to select any particular model, either neural network or non-neural network architecture. Yes, both the training and test data sets will be available preloaded within the platform. So for the initial training, you'll want to use the train data set, and then for predicting, you'll want to use the test data set.
And I would actually suggest all of you guys to go through the complete platform once before you start off your task. So have a look at the platform, explore it, and understand what all things are needed in order to push up your data set onto the platform. In case you have any kind of doubt, you can definitely reach out to us on our Slack, and we'll answer you, all of you over there.
No coding is required for the model. Newton is code free, essentially. And yeah, Yulia, thank you for the comment.
There is one question on the chat from where I can learn the skills before doing the task. Deepak, we believe that you only need to upload the data set, or you can understand the complete platform before uploading, or I believe the data set is already been preloaded on the platform. Am I correct?
Correct. Yeah. So this is, an example data set. Everything's kind of prepared and ready. So it's really, this is very just an introduction and just getting you kind of the first hands-on experience before, creating your own models as well. So it's a tutorial, if you will.
Yeah, Martin, I believe you are going to utilize the Newton's algorithms in order to come up with the solutions that you would be getting up. So that would be the first task that during the course of the event will be.
Yep, and no data cleaning will be needed as well. But Newton also provides data pre-processing as well to help with some of that as well. But yeah, in general, from the kind of comment, it is important to have your data set prepared for the platform in general. But for the Titanic data set, you should be good to go.
Yeah, and everything is already available on the platform, so you can explore the platform and see how it works. In case you need more assistance on the platform, we are available on the channel that's already been shared on the chat by Yulia. Thank you, Yulia, for sharing that. I believe if we are good to go on this, and this was a huge success for the first day. And this will be the last question by Setu, and then we'll try to wrap up. 10+ years solid experience in manufacturing industries. Want to understand how we can integrate this learning into workplace. Please advise.
I can take this if you guys are okay.
Sure, please do.
All right. So yeah, I guess, so I think the way, as I said before, Andrew, please add towards the end if you have anything. Since you already have the domain expertise in manufacturing, which is tremendous right now, to be honest. And so if you want to take some of that manufacturing and then data, and then you want to model around something to solve any defects or the manufacturing processes or defective products that potentially you might see through your process. And if you want to forecast ahead of time, things of that nature, you can use Newton.ai very effectively. And I think that it's being used in some cases already, but I think that's a great, so that you understand the yield, of whatever the manufacturing you guys are into. And that's one use case, but potentially better. But Newton allows you to model around anything that you want to achieve to solve and predict ahead of time so that you can plan your resources and most importantly, cost around it.
Yeah, I would like to add to that as well. Something. Sorry, Andrew. You can go ahead. Okay.
I think neither
so
of them.
I would like to add to that. Yeah, actually that was a bit confusion, but okay. So I would like to add to that to Guru's answer. Once you have the domain knowledge, like for the manufacturing industry, if I'm not wrong, there are a lot of machines that are working on automation. So I believe automation is a very good example for you to understand how machine learning can work, and the Newton AI's platform can definitely help you to forecast a lot of stuff, and get you can collect the data and train them on Newton AI's platform and then utilize it for your automations also. But yeah, there would be some extra work required after the automation is to be done. Like you need to deploy it somewhere. If you want to integrate somewhere, that can also be done. So yeah, in depth, I believe that should answer your question, Setu. Would you like to add anything, Andrew, to this?
Yeah, I mean, it's really having the domain knowledge is what really helps you create the use case. Without a use case, machine learning won't really help. It's theoretical. So all of the problems or issues or things that you're experiencing within your particular industry, we can take a look at those and explore where we might be able to create predictive models. So that domain knowledge is needed, and in the traditional sense, data scientists would work with the subject matter experts to understand the problem. So you already have the problem, and now you have an automated solution to be able to create those data science models without any coding. Yeah, hopefully that helps add a little light to it. But yeah, having the use cases is a great first step.
Yeah, definitely. So I believe this should wrap up all of our questions. And thank you so much, all of you. Thank you, all the panelists. Thank you, Yulia. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Guru, to be a part of this first day. There's a lot to come in the future, like for the next 30 days. There's a lot to come. So yeah, thank you so much, all of you guys.
Please say 2 words about tomorrow session.
Yeah, sure. So tomorrow's session will be conducted at the same time, 7 to 8:30 p.m. And Mr. Chris, in fact, I should call Dr. Chris Ambrosser, would be conducting this event for the second day, and he will be talking about how can someone take up a career into data science, or in short, take up a data career. So do stay tuned up on the channel and share all of your questions to us, and we'll be more than happy to answer them, and do attend tomorrow as well.
Yeah, thank you. And I
Thank
would
you so
like
much,
to
Yulia.
say good luck to all. Please, we start our competition right now. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Have a great
everybody.
day. Bye-bye.
Enjoy.
Bye-bye, all of you. Enjoy. Have a great day. Take care.
Have a great day.